smartphone and gaming console prices are expected to increase. Find out how tariffs will impact the electronics market.
Today is the 2-year anniversary of the historical mill fire in downtown Kent. We'll tell you how it affected the city and the lasting repercussions.
This year showed record-breaking sales for online shoppers' Black Friday holiday shopping hauls. Find out what some of the top purchases were.
The amount of respiratory illnesses in the United States is low for now, but could see a surge. We'll tell you why and much more as Kent Stater TV starts right now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Kent Stater TV. I'm Josh Aponte.
And I'm Anthony Leonardi. Thank you so much for joining us.
We start tonight with updates on Kent State's Transformation 2028.
Michael Neenan is coming to us live with more. Hey, Michael.
Yes, that's right, guys. I'm reporting live outside Franklin Hall as the Office of the Provost has provided updates on Transformation 2028. Now, for those that don't know, Transformation 2028 is a plan by the Office of the Provost to restructure the Division of Academic Affairs by rearranging the colleges into what the plan calls academies. The plan is meant to cut costs in response to financial pressures by the university. Although the plan is still developing, some student groups, including United Students Against Sweatshops, have expressed frustrations over their university's lack of transparency.
Students have received next to nothing aside from the vague messages from the provost saying that sunsetting programs isn't part of this, and then all of a sudden we actually do want feedback. Here's a survey.
Now, among those feedback that the university has received is that many people do not like the name of academies. We'll provide updates more at 6:30. Reporting for Kstv News, I'm Michael Neenan.
Thank you, Michael. We have more updates on everything around Kent and Portage County.
Lexi Blacknick is here to tell us more. Hi, Lexi.
Hi guys, thank you. Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. We have plenty of local stories, starting with the 2-year anniversary of a historical building fire in downtown Kent. Today marks the 2-year anniversary of the Star of the West mill fire in downtown Kent. The fire and explosion damaged multiple buildings before 6 different fire departments arrived on the scene to help put out the blaze. 1 year after the fire and explosion, officials reported that there was no known cause of the fire, though there is speculation that the flour left in the mill caught flame and caused the fire. The Kent State Adventure Center Trips of Experiential and Adventure Learning hosted Schools Out Adventure. Children K through 5 had the opportunity to visit Kent State University's campus. The program offered activities such as crafts, rock climbing, and archery. Teal designed the activities to teach children about nature, themselves, and team building. And moving into the holly jolly spirit. Now that Thanksgiving has passed, Portage County is in the holiday spirit. From toy drives to meeting Jolly St. Nick himself, organizations across Portage County are hosting events meant to get you in the Christmas spirit. Community Bible Church in both the Manua and Windham Police Department are hosting toy drives for children in need. And Ravenna kicked off the holiday season with a parade and festival Black Friday in downtown Ravenna. The city hosted Santa as he read stories with a live reindeer at Reed Memorial Library and posed for pictures. Vendors were available to early bird shoppers at the Buckeye Mini Mall, and after the festivities didn't stop at shopping. Ravenna Sip and Social hosted an after party which included cookie decorating. For updates on stories and news, visit our website, kentwired.com. For KSTV, I'm Lexi Blatnick.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
The Kent State Ashtabula Satellite Campus closed today due to the severe weather storm that impacted their area. Only essential employees reported today, as well as all in-person classes moved online.
Speaking of that winter weather, Sophia Sonato is here to tell us if there will be any more snow coming our way. Sophia?
That's right. Thank you, guys, and good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. My name is Sophia Sonato, and I'm here to give you your weather forecast for tonight, tomorrow, and into your week. Looking outside our windows, I am not forecasting any snow for this evening. It is currently 31 degrees, but it's feeling like 23. The winds are going eastbound at 11 miles per hour, so it's causing that temperature to dip dramatically. If you were on campus like I was today, you felt those heavy winds and it was a little too cold for comfort. The moon phase is currently in waxing crescent as we have just started our new lunar cycle for December. Moving into my forecast for tomorrow, it's going to be a high of 32 degrees, around the same today, but we are going to continue to have winds. They're going to be westbound instead of eastbound at the 10 to 15 mile per hour range, and it's going to have a high humidity of about 74%. So with how cold it's going to get tonight, make sure to have some extra time to defrost your windshields. There's only a 7% chance of precipitation, but that humidity overnight will cause for some frost on your windshields. Now, I wanted to also break down my on-campus forecast for tomorrow. Starting at 8 a.m., it's going to be about 23 degrees, and it's only going to feel like 13. We are dipping into the teens for the first time this winter season, and that cloud cover you're seeing is 60%, so the sun will be out a little bit in the morning, but unfortunately the clouds will be here to stay for the rest of the day. By noon, it's going to hit 30 degrees and it's going to feel like 21 because of those winds, and the temperature is not going to change much more, nor will the cloud cover by 4 p.m. Now, I wanted to touch base with y'all on the lunar cycle for this month because, as I had mentioned, there are 2 new moons for this month. Our first new moon was on December 1st, and our second one will be on December 30th. According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, that is considered a black moon, and it's a very common phrase. In fact, I had never heard of it before, so you learn something new every day. Our full moon is going to be on December 15th, and there is some snow folklore saying that if there is snow at nighttime, it will cease to exist by moonrise, which I thought was very interesting. And that's all I have for now. Stay tuned to see temperatures across the state of Ohio, as well as see how long this cold spell is going to last.
Thank you, Sophia. If you plan on using the Ohio Turnpike next year, then you might want to expect higher prices. For Easy Pass customers, the toll rate will increase to 7.1 cents per mile. For cash and credit card users, the rate will increase to 10.4. The rate for commercial vehicles also increased. The full rundown of price increases can be found on the Ohio Turnpike website.
And the Cleveland police are searching for a missing 53-year-old Kimberly Piles. She was last seen November 12th near the west side of Cleveland by Forestdale Avenue and Pearl Avenue. Piles might be driving a black 2011 Dodge Caravan with damage on the trunk, and her son is offering a $500 reward for her safe return home. Anyone with more information should call the Cleveland police.
Cleveland Heights residents will see newer and safer paths for pedestrians and cyclists. The U.S. Department of Transportation is awarding the City of Cleveland Heights $800,000. This is under the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant. The grant will allow the city to improve corridor designs, making crosswalks more visible, and improving signal infrastructure.
Are you ready to rock your hearts out? Because the legendary rock and roll band AC/DC is coming to Cleveland in May 2025. AC/DC will make their appearance at Huntington Bank Field in their Power Up tour to play for their dedicated fans once again. And this is the only time that the show will be in Ohio for next year, and tickets go on sale on December 6th. Millions of people are online for Cyber Monday. Find out how much people are spending on these holiday deals.
And it's the most wonderful time of the year, but maybe not for airport workers. We'll tell you what the numbers look like if you plan on traveling during the holiday season.
Marcello Fantoni has served on the scientific committee of the Palace of Versailles for the past decade. Through this prestigious position, Fantoni creates worldwide connections, helping Kent State students and faculty realize one-of-a-kind global experiences.
Today, Kent State University is a global university. We have a presence in every single continent of this planet. If we send our Ohio students all over the world and bring their experiences back, we create the conditions in Ohio for a much healthier and stronger development of the entire state. When you come back and you have more tools in your brain, more options for solutions, you are a more talented, a more versatile professional. And this is what the market wants today. The future of higher education is global.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
The holiday season is in full effect, and that means it's shopping time.
Trinity Chapman has more in consumer news. Trinity?
Yes, that's right. Holiday shopping is in the air, and consumers all over are definitely taking advantage. Let's jump right into it. Starting off tonight with record-breaking online Black Friday sales. Adobe Analytics discovered that online shoppers this holiday season spent $10.8 billion this year, surpassing last year's record by $1 billion. MasterCard also showed that online sales were up 15%, while in-stores was up 1%. Adobe suspects Cyber Monday will be even bigger. Some top purchases were jewelry, apparel, and electronics. Today starts the long-awaited Cyber Monday. Many shoppers have the tradition of going online and taking up the great deals realtors have to offer. The massive price cuts are too good to pass up on that about an estimated 183 million people plan to do their holiday shopping both in-store and online between Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. Consumers are expected to spend well over billions just this year. Say goodbye to Costco's year-round in-store book selection. The realtor is making the decision to now only make their book section available during the holiday season. The tough decision comes after the store made the claim that the labor is too high to continuously stock. Although the book section will be removed from 500 out of 600 Costco's, customers will still be able to purchase them online. Smartphones and game consoles are some common gifts for the holiday seasons, and experts are advising to purchase them now. The Consumer Technology Association has analyzed that prices could rise by 26% due to proposed tariffs on imports from China. This includes manufacturers of many cell phones. It's not just electronics. Appliances will also rise in price up to 20%. Yesterday, December 1st, was marked to be one of the busiest days to travel this year. The Transportation Security Administration stated they screened more than 3 million passengers across the country. American Airlines was expecting to fly out 8.3 million passengers, while Delta Airlines expected 540,000 from November 21st to December 1st. Yesterday surpassed the previous record, which was set in July. That's all the consumer news I have for now. I'll be back to update you on more stories you may have missed over the holidays.
And ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Well, that lake effect snow is in full swing as we enter the month of December. Over the weekend, we saw several feet of snowfall in northeast Ohio, and the cold weather is expected to continue.
States like Pennsylvania and New York also had their fair share of snow as well, as to over 2 million people were impacted by the snow warnings. KSTV's own Sophia Sonato has more on these cold winter conditions. Sophia?
Yes, I do. Thank you, guys, and welcome back, everyone. Behind me, I have temperatures across the state of Ohio. So let's get started with Cincinnati down here, currently sitting at 32 degrees. Toledo and Columbus are both sitting at 30 flat. Athens is at 29 degrees. The Akron-Canton area is at about 26. And Pittsburgh on this wonderful Victory Monday is looking at 30 degrees. Zooming in to the northeastern part of the state, Sandusky is currently sitting at 30 degrees, and so is Cleveland. Mansfield and Worcester are both sitting at 28 degrees. Akron-Canton, as I had mentioned, is at the 26-degree mark. Kent is looking at 28, as well as Ashtabula, and Y-Town, My-Town is currently sitting at 27 degrees. Moving into my weekly outlook for this upcoming week, tomorrow is going to be a high of 32 degrees and a low of 23. As I had mentioned earlier, it is going to be very windy, about 10 to 15 mile per hour range, and will cause those temperatures to drop dramatically. We're going to see this same pattern throughout the week. On Wednesday, it's going to be a high of 35 degrees and a low of 17, but those winds are going to make it feel much colder. On Thursday, I am predicting more wind, a high of 25 degrees, and a 54% chance of snow in the area. We won't go above 32 degrees, so it will be snow instead of rain, but I am not predicting more of an accumulation than about an inch. On Friday, it's going to be a high of 27 degrees and partly cloudy. Those winds are going to be much calmer in the 5 to 10 mile per hour range, so we can breathe for a little bit there. We're going to see that same thing on Saturday. It's going to be a high of 32 degrees and mostly cloudy on the day. And then on Sunday, as we go into that new week, we will go above the freezing level. It's going to be a high of 41 degrees, a low of 35, and actually mild. It'll be a heat wave for the month of December, if you think about it that way. And then this time next week, it's going to be a high of 45 degrees, a low of 35, and I'm predicting a 40% chance of showers, but that may change. And that's where my report ends. But if you missed it, if you missed any part of my forecast, don't worry. You can stay tuned in to see more of my forecast for tomorrow as you step out onto campus, as well as what's it for the week ahead. From the Franklin Hall studio, I'm Sophia Sonato.
Thank you, Sophia. The Supreme Court heard arguments from e-cigarette companies earlier today. The e-cigarette industry believes that the way the FDA regulates vaping products violates federal law. The companies say that the flavored nicotine products are intended to help people move away from traditional cigarettes and not intended to increase popularity among school-aged kids.
And the rates of respiratory illnesses in the U.S. are currently low, but experts are concerned about low vaccination rates that could threaten that. The CDC says vaccinations will be key in preventing the spread of the illnesses. The respiratory diseases cause a major risk to children. Other than that, respiratory illnesses, recent data from the CDC shows that COVID-19 numbers are the lowest they've been since the start of the pandemic.
And officials in California have suspended the selling of raw milk products after samples detected traces of the bird flu. Inspectors had sampled the bottles at Raw Farms bottling facility a week ago, and officials say that all the milk that was tested had stayed at the facility and was not released for consumption. On social media, Raw Farm has said it will cooperate with the state officials and apologized for the shortage in supply.
The 2024 NCAA Division I Women's Volleyball Selection Show was Sunday night, and I'm excited to tell you all about it.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine, and I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and Mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero.
Good job, kitty cat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
The collaboration between Kent State and the Cleveland Museum of Natural History is a long-standing one.
Dr. Aaron's
experimental lab is really state-of-the-art. It's known internationally.
We can recreate any artifact from the last 3 million years, and the Cleveland Museum of Natural History has pretty much any tool that ancient people use. So we send our students up here to study those examples so they can figure out how to recreate them. And the collaboration led to incredible discoveries right here in Ohio. And it's a dream come true.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Following Michigan's upset victory over Ohio State Saturday, a fight broke out at midfield. This happened after some Michigan players tried planting their flag on the Ohio State logo, but they were confronted by the Buckeyes. Police used pepper spray to break up the players who threw punches within the crowd.
One officer was injured and taken to a hospital after the brawl. Yesterday, the Big Ten issued fines to both Ohio State and Michigan for violating the Big Ten sportsmanship policy. For more in sports, let's send it over to Jordan Hiles. What do you got, Jordan?
Thanks, guys, and welcome to the destination of all things sports. I'm Jordan, but unfortunately, this is the last sports update of this semester, so let's get into it. Taking things to the court, the Kent State men's basketball team wrapped up their Western Slam with a hard-fought 67-60 victory over Kennesaw State on Saturday night. In Canada, the Flashes finished 2-1, and Kent State showcased balance offensively with 4 players scoring in double figures. Vaughn Cameron Davis led the way with 16 points. Morgan Safford, Jalen Sullinger, and Marcus Barnett each scored 13 points. With this win, head coach Rob Senderoff reached the milestone of 270 career victories at Kent State. The Flashes return home to face the University of Portland on December 6th. The Kent State women's basketball team saw its 3-game winning streak snapped in a 60-54 loss to Colorado State in their final game at the Puerto Rico Classico. Deanna Gray led the Flashes with 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists, showcasing her all-around game. Jenna Batch added 10 points, 5 assists, and 2 steals. Bridget Dunn grabbed a game-high 10 rebounds, marking her 5th double-digit rebounding effort this season. Up next, the Golden Flashes will head to Niagara University for a matchup on December 5th. The NCAA Division I Women's Volleyball Committee has revealed the 64-team field for the 2024 Women's Volleyball Championship. This year's top 4 seeds are Pittsburgh, Nebraska, Louisville, and Penn State. Pittsburgh earned the top overall seed with a dominant 29-1 record in a 3rd consecutive ACC championship. Nebraska and Penn State share the Big Ten title, each finishing 29-2, and have an overall record of 19-1 in the conference play. Louisville secured its position with a 25-5 season. The tournament follows a regional pod structure, seeding the top 32 teams nationally and organizing them geographically. The first and second round matches will take place on December 5th through 7th. Regional rounds will follow on December 12th through 15th, and the national semifinals and championship will be hosted by the University of Louisville at the KFC Yum Center. Semifinal matches are scheduled for December 19th, with the championship match airing on December 22nd. That is all I have for you now, but I'll be back on updates on how the fall of Ohio football is contagious.
Thank you, Jordan. And if you like the idea of searching for hidden treasure, then you're in luck. We'll tell you how you can have a shot at finding some goodies.
Good morning. Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Class, today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself.
The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
2 machines popped up in San Diego to encourage giving back for the holiday season. They're part of a global project called Light the World Giving Machines. They've been around since 2017 and helped raise more than $32 million for charity. The cheapest item is donating $5 to provide breakfast for someone in need. Similar machines will pop up in more than 100 cities across 5 continents.
And if you like reading but also dabble in a bit of treasure hunting, then look no further. John Collins Black is offering a treasure hunt for people who read his new book, There's Treasure Inside. It gives hints to readers to help them find more than $2 million worth of treasures that are hidden in chests all around the country. The treasures include things like sports memorabilia, rare Pokemon cards, and even gold.
There you go, Leonardi.
Now,
that's what we do. We go, we look for the treasure, and we're done. We don't need a job.
Is that what we're going to do over break?
That's what we're going to do.
We're going to do that over break. We're going to go find that gold, but I'm more, into that Pokemon card. Maybe that might sell for a little bit more than the gold. You'd be surprised that a piece of paper would be worth so much.
Hey, maybe we could get a rookie Shohei card out of it.
If we got a rookie Shohei Ohtani card, I'd go crazy.
Maybe. I guess that would be pretty fun. But unfortunately, that is all the time for right now. But stay tuned for KSTV at 6:30. I'm Josh Aponte.
And I'm Anthony Leonardi. We'll see you in about 2 minutes.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Good job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now spit! Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
At Kent State University, student athletes from around the world find their home away from home.
My dream has always been to come to the United States and play basketball on a college level.
I'm gonna be the first graduate in my family. It's a big thing for me.
The faculty members here at Kent State are incredible.
I feel like Kent State, it has all the opportunity in the world.
Northeast Ohio is the ideal place for them to excel athletically and academically. From the moment they arrive, students are surrounded by a network of support that helps them thrive and achieve their dreams.
We are a family, so helping each other out is one of the most important things.
Straight away I knew I had people that I could count on. As soon as I got here, between coaches, friends that I met pretty early on, I feel like this is a second home now.
This is the place. This is it.
Coach Starkey, he always asks about how you're doing.
Our coaches are so supportive. They make you better athletes, and so many of those qualities are transferable. You're going to come out of here being a successful student athlete.
The number of illegal border crossings decreased this past month. Find out what border officials reported over the month of November.
The historic Kent Mill Fire happened today 2 years ago. Hear about what happened and how it affected the city.
The Office of the Provost has released updates for the Transformation 2028, though some student groups still have concerns over the plan.
Now may be the time to upgrade your phone. We'll tell you more about the newest plans for the tariffs and what other appliances you might want to update as Kent Stater TV continues right now.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Kent Stater TV at 6:30. I'm Josh Ponte.
And I'm Anthony Leonardi. Thank you for joining us tonight.
We continue tonight with updates on Kent State's Transformation 2028.
Michael Neenan is coming to us live with more. Hi, Michael.
Yes, that's right, guys. Transformation 2028 just got a new update from the Office of the Provost tonight, but some student groups still have concerns over the plan as well as its transparency. Transformation 2028 is a plan by the Office of the Provost to rearrange the Division of Academic Affairs by combining colleges into what it calls academies. The plan aims to cut costs in response to financial pressures put on the university. Although Transformation 2028 is still in the planning stage and receiving feedback from stakeholders across the university, some student groups, including the United Students Against Sweatshops, have expressed frustrations over the lack of transparency to students.
Is to better a working relationship with the students and the staff and develop this community and environment where moving forward, students don't have to be like, oh, well, we found this, we've got the secrets, that the university will share these in good faith, openly and honestly, and that we can move forward from this with a renewed plan to continue student feedback.
Provost Melody Tankersley revealed potential plans for restructuring the colleges. The undergraduate student government also expressed some concerns over how Transformation 2028 may affect students.
Some people have concerns that programs with the combination of colleges or just academic programs overall, that there will be less people to advise students. Also, just programs losing funding was a question that came up. Funds and resources would be affected in that way.
In an email to faculty, the Office of the Provost mentioned that feedback said that while faculty are okay with reducing the number of colleges, they do not like the large academies. Be sure to check KentWire.com for any major updates for Transformation 2028. Reporting for KSTV News, I'm Michael Neenan.
Thank you, Michael. We have more updates on everything around Kent and Portage County.
We welcome back Lexi Blatnick to tell us more. Hi, Lexi.
Hi, guys, and thank you again. Good evening, Portage County and Kent State. We come to you with local coverage from the 2-year anniversary of the historic mill fire to holiday festivities. Today marks the 2-year anniversary of the Star of the West mill fire in downtown Kent. The fire and explosion damaged multiple buildings before 6 different fire departments arrived on the scene to help put out the blaze. 1 year after the fire and explosion, officials reported that there was no known cause of the flames, though there is speculation that the flour left in the mill caught flame and caused the fire. And the Kent State Adventure Center Trips of Experiential and Adventures Learning hosted Schools Out Adventure. Children K through 5 had the opportunity to visit Kent State University's campus. The program offered activities such as crafts, rock climbing, and archery. Teal designed the activities to teach children about nature, themselves, and team building. And now that Thanksgiving has passed, Portage County is in the holiday spirit. From toy drives to meeting Jolly St. Nick himself, organizations across Portage County are hosting events meant to get you in the Christmas spirit. Community Bible Church and both the Manua and Windham Police Department are hosting toy drives for children in need. Ravenna kicked off the holiday season with a parade and festival Black Friday in downtown Ravenna. The city hosted Santa as he read stories with a live reindeer at Reed Memorial Library and posed for pictures. Vendors were available to early bird shoppers at the Buckeye Mini Mall, and after the festivities didn't stop at shopping. Ravenna Sip and Social hosted an after party which included cookie decorating. And that's all for me this semester. For more stories and updates, visit KentWire.com. For KSTV, I'm Lexi Blatnick.
your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
The Kent State Ashtabula satellite campus closed today due to the severe winter storm that impacted their area. Only essential employees reported today as all in-person classes were moved online.
And speaking of that winter weather, Sophia Sonato is here to tell us if there's going to be any more snow coming our way. Sophia?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, you guys. My name is Sophia Sonato, and I am here to give you your weather forecast for tonight, tomorrow, and into the rest of your week. Looking outside our windows, I'm happy to report there is no snow. It is currently 31 degrees, but feels like about 23. We've experienced a lot of heavy winds today in that 10 to 15 mile per hour range, and it is going eastbound currently at 11 miles per hour. If you were out on campus like me today, you know the winds were heavy and it made it a lot colder. And that moon phase is currently in waxing crescent as we have restarted our lunar cycle, but more on that later. I wanted to make sure to get into some details about tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a high of about 32 degrees, pretty similar to today. It's going to be mostly cloudy with that sun being most prevalent in the morning. It's going to be humid, about 74%, and very, very windy. The winds are going to be in the 10 to 15 mile per hour range once again, so make sure you have hats, gloves, earmuffs, whatever it is going to help you stay warm on campus because it will be cold. Precipitation is only about 7% chance, but with that humidity overnight combined with the cold weather, there's a very good chance that your windshields are going to be frosted up. Now, to break down the exact temperatures for tomorrow, it's going to be 21 degrees at 8 o'clock tomorrow, but it will feel like 13. It's going to be the coldest that it's been for a very, very long time, so make sure you are prepared if you have an early class. By noon, it's going to jump up to 30 degrees, but still only feel like 21. Those percentages that you're seeing are cloud coverage, so it will go up from 60% to 80. So the sun won't be helping us this afternoon, or tomorrow afternoon rather, for those colder temperatures. And then by 4 p.m., it's going to be largely the same. 80% cloud coverage. It's going to feel like it's in the 20s and very cloudy. Now, as I had mentioned about the moon, we have recently restarted our lunar cycle. And this lunar cycle for December of 2024 is very interesting because we have two new moons. That first new moon happened last night on December 1st, and the second new moon will be happening on December 30th. According to the Old Farmer's Almanac, that is considered a black moon, which is very interesting. Our full moon is going to be on December 15th, and there is a good chance that if snowfall is occurring, it will stop by moonrise, according to old folk stories. And that's all I have for now. Stay tuned to see temperatures across the state of Ohio, as well as see how long this cold spell is going to last.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sophia. If you plan on using the Ohio Turnpike next year, then you might want to expect higher prices. For Easy Pass customers, the toll rate will increase to 7.1 cents per mile. For cash and credit card users, the rate will increase to 10.4. The rate for commercial vehicles also increased. The full rundown of price increases can be found on the Ohio Turnpike website.
And Cleveland police are searching for a missing 53-year-old Kimberly Piles. She was last seen November 12th near the west side of Cleveland by Forestdale Avenue and Pearl Avenue. Piles might be driving a black 2011 Dodge Caravan with damage on the trunk, and her son is offering a $500 reward for her safe return home. Anyone with more information should call the Cleveland police.
Cleveland Heights residents will see newer and safer paths for pedestrians and cyclists. The U.S. Department of Transportation is awarding the city of Cleveland Heights $800,000. This is under the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant. The grant will allow the city to improve corridor designs, making crosswalks more visible, and improving signal infrastructure.
Are you guys ready to rock your hearts out? Because a legendary rock and roll band, AC/DC, is coming to Cleveland in May of 2025. AC/DC will make their appearance in Huntington Bank Field in their Power Up tour to play for their dedicated fans once again. This is the only show that the band will have in Ohio next year, and tickets for the event go on sale December 6th. Following President Biden's pardon of his son Hunter, President Trump and others gave their reactions on social media.
And it's the most wonderful time of the year, but maybe not for airport workers. We'll tell you what the numbers look like if you plan on traveling during the holiday season.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Throw that ball, Diane. Woo! You got this. I surrender. I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's up?
Do we have a gun?
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Welcome back. Now pivoting from local news to national news, we'll welcome in Kent Stater TV's own Trinity Chapman.
Good evening, Trinity.
Good evening, guys. Although we celebrated the holidays this past week, that did not stop some national news from occurring. Starting off with President Biden giving his son Hunter Biden a, quote, full and unconditional pardon, end quote. Hunter Biden had been convicted of tax and firearm charges and has pleaded guilty to the tax charges. The counts of both charges had him looking up to 42 years in prison. After receiving the full pardon from his father, Hunter Biden is vowing to help others struggling with addiction. There has been some uproar on both political sides in response to President Biden's pardon of his son Hunter Biden. President-elect Donald Trump also spoke on the issue, going to X asking if the pardon, quote, also includes J6 hostages who have been imprisoned for years, end quote. House Democratic Representative Greg Stanton of Arizona had stated in a post also on the platform X that he respects the president but believes that he made the wrong decision. This Wednesday, the Supreme Court will be hearing an appeal from transgendered youths who are challenging a recent Tennessee ban on medical care. The ban affects more than just access to puberty blockers and hormone treatments, but also principles forbidding sex discrimination. Many transgender advocates are arguing that transgendered issues should be regarded as sex discrimination, warranting, quote, heightened scrutiny, end quote. The number of undocumented migrants crossing the southern border dropped by nearly 9,000 this past month. A senior U.S. official stated that the U.S. border arrested around 47,000 migrants along the U.S.-Mexican border. The numbers for migrants crossing over from the northern border also significantly dropped last month. Homeland Security officials credit the Biden administration for the decrease. That wraps up all the national news I have for you tonight and for the semester. I'm Trinity Chapman. Stay warm and have a good night, Portage County.
Experts are saying now is the time to upgrade your smartphone. A recent study suggests prices could rise by 26% due to imposed tariffs on imports from China, which manufactures the majority of smartphones. You should also consider replacing household appliances. The tariffs would cause the price of the average appliance to go up by nearly 20%. Other products will also cost more, including gaming consoles and laptops.
And the Sunday after Thanksgiving lived up to its expectations, as it was one of the busiest days of travel all year. While millions of Americans chose to travel by car, the Transportation Security Administration says that more than 3 million people traveled via airport for the holiday, which is the busiest it has ever been for air travel. And it also tops the record previously set back in July.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
Lake effect snow is in full swing as we enter the month of December. Over the weekend, we saw several feet of snowfall in northeast Ohio, and you can expect additional snow through tomorrow.
States like Pennsylvania and New York also had their fair share of snow as well, as over 2 million people were impacted by snow warnings. KSTV's own Sophia Sonato has more on these cold winter conditions. Sophia?
Thank you guys, and welcome back everyone. Behind me I have temperatures across the state of Ohio, and I wanted to show you how cold it is really getting this week. We're going to get started with Toledo and Columbus and Cincinnati, all on the western side of the state, looking at 30 degrees flat currently. Athens is sitting at 29 degrees, and the Akron-Canton area is looking at 26, dealing with those lake effect temperatures as that pattern is going southeast. Pittsburgh, on their Victory Monday, is not quite getting that belt of colder weather, as they're also looking at 30 degrees flat. Now, moving into the northeastern part of the state, if we zoom in and take a look, Sandusky and Cleveland are both looking at 30 degrees even. That lake effect storm has passed through for the most part, but if you were on the east side of Cleveland yesterday, you'll know that we were hit pretty heavily with snow. Ashtabula is dealing with those lake effect temperatures as well, sitting at 28 degrees. Mansfield as well as Worcester are sitting at 27 and 26 degrees respectively. Kent is sitting at 27 degrees as well as Y-Town, My Town. Going into my forecast for the week, as I had mentioned earlier, tomorrow is going to be a high of 32 degrees with a low of 23 and mostly cloudy, but we are going to have very heavy winds. These winds are going to be a very common theme throughout the course of this week, as I am predicting 10 to 15 mile per hour winds, even 20 mile per hour winds on Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday is going to be a high of 35 and a low of 17. Thursday is going to be a high of 25, a low of 20, and a 54% chance of snow. Don't worry though, that snow isn't going to hit more than an inch. By Friday, the snow will stop, and it's going to be a high of 27 degrees and a low of 20, with that sun peeking through a little bit. On Saturday, it's going to be mostly cloudy with a high of 32. And then Sunday and Monday, we're going to be jumping up to highs of 41 and 45 degrees. There's a chance of rain on Monday, but that may change. And that is where my report ends. While you won't be seeing my face until the new year, we still have plenty of weather coverage going through the rest of this week. So for more on your forecast, you can tune in right here with us at KSTV. From the Franklin Hall studio, I'm Sophia Sonato. Happy holidays, Portage County.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Earlier today, 13 people are dead after a Syrian army airstrike in the city of Idlib. Also in Idlib, Syrian army warplanes killed 5 children and 2 women near Habanush. At least 12 others were injured in the attack. There also might be an update to those who were killed and injured, as the numbers have not yet been confirmed by CNN.
And the Israeli military officials say that a missing U.S.-Israeli soldier was killed during the attack on October 7th of last year. Officials had previously thought that 21-year-old Omer Maxim Nutra was alive but held hostage by Hamas. However, the defense forces have confirmed his death in an announcement made this morning. Nutra was one of the 7 American citizens held in Gaza, and he is the 4th to have been pronounced dead. KSTV has more when we come back.
Designer here at Yellow Cake. Everything I do currently is all stuff that builds on top of things I learned at Kent.
They had a different commitment to their craft or to their major. You know, part of that is just who he is naturally, and I think part of that he gleaned and honed at, his time at Kent State.
There has been a bit of a budding scene here in Cleveland between Valerie and some other designers that live around here, and we're really starting to put Cleveland on the map in the fashion world.
Will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end end it at feedingamerica.org.
This is your Kent Stater TV Sports Report.
Welcome back to my sports report. It seems to be there's a curse out for Ohio football teams. Let's get into it. Taking things to the highly anticipated Ohio State versus the team up north matchup, or in other words, just the game. A number 2 seed Ohio State versus an unranked Michigan. Let's see how this ball game plays out. After a slow first quarter, Ohio State was only able to knock in a field goal until Michigan was able to run one in. Jaden Fielding looking to close the gap, but shanks it. This could be the determining factor of this game. Dominic Zaveda is here to show it how it's done and knocks one in from 54 yards out. Will Howard, is he able to tie the score? Yes, he is. He connects with Emeka Egbuka as he takes another look. What a dime. Now it's late in the fourth, and Zaveda is here to save the day with a kick from 21 yards out. This makes the score 13-10. And that concludes the game. What an upset by the Wolverines. They will for sure be traveling back up north happily. And this is the Wolverines' 4th year in a row beating the Buckeyes. Now we have another intense rivalry. The Cincinnati Bengals welcomed the Pittsburgh Steelers to Paycor Stadium. The snap's back to Russell Wilson. He connects with George Pickens, looking to tie the score at 7-7. And he gets it running in from 20 yards out. The snap's back again to Wilson. He throws a deep shot to Calvin Austin III for another Pittsburgh touchdown. It's now the second quarter and Joe Burrow scrambling, trying to find someone open, and he does with a jumping shot to longtime teammate Jamar Chase to put the Bengals up 6 more points. Wilson's on the move, dodges an arm, and sees Pat Freiermuth open, and he's able to run it into the end zone. This is a high-scoring game for the Steelers, an offense we've never seen before. Joe Burrow is looking to throw it, but is denied by Nick Herbig, and Peyton Wilson picks it up for the touchdown. As we take another look, Herbig out of nowhere swats the ball out of Burrow's hands, and Wilson takes it upon himself for the touchdown. Burrow's now looking to close the gap, and he does as he sees Andre Yosiash open in the end zone and throws it right to him. If you take a closer look, young quarterback Justin Fields is in, and his specialty is running the ball, and that's exactly what he does for a Pittsburgh first down. This makes the Steelers able to take a knee and end the game, and they're heading home with a 44-38 victory over Cincinnati. What a disappointing weekend to be an Ohio football fan. Unfortunately, that is all the time I have for you tonight. It was a pleasure reporting on all things sports. Until next semester, I'm Jordan Hiles.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education. No one receives a diploma alone. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
first started here at formerly TV2, now KSTV, I never actually thought about the time I'd do my senior goodbye. And unfortunately, that time has come because I delayed writing this until like 2 a.m. last night because I didn't want to accept that reality. But first off, I want to thank God for blessing me to be in this amazing experience with all of you guys. Second off, I want to thank my family for being my #1 cheerleaders. We always go home and watch my newscasts after whenever. But my first TV2 experience was doing weather on a flashcast. And I remember Shane Troiano telling me, "Oh my gosh, you rock at weather." And I was like, well, I did drama club back in high school, but you know. So that was my first experience, and I knew absolutely no one. I walked into that flashcast, and I just sat there, really, because I was scared to talk to anyone. But then I started talking to Matt Mergen at the time, who was on that flashcast. And I started to become friends with him over Star Wars, nonetheless, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And then I went to go meet Della Fowler, who was in one of my classes with me. And from there, I started making friends everywhere in TV2. And it was awesome. My second experience at TV2 was anchoring with none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Jerome Zacharias. And that was my first time anchoring. And let me tell you, the first flashcast that me and Anthony ever anchored, it was terrible because me and Anthony had no idea what we were doing, and we had no concept of breaks. So we kind of just were freeballing it the entire time. It was hilarious, but it was awesome, and I gained a lifelong friend in Anthony, so shout out you. I know you're watching this later on. I also got to anchor with Nathan Welsh, and that was my first ever newscast that I anchored, like newscast, not flashcast. And that was scary because we had Nuryed Hurtado, who was our producer, and it was very fun. But it was a very fun, awesome experience. And one of my favorite experiences at TV2 was anchoring with Kennedy Gotham. And all of you know the infamous practice show from that. And I'll let that be a banquet story for you guys. But I also had the lucky opportunity to sports anchor. Gabe Kalura and Jack Burney were like, well, let's take a shot on this Josh Aponte kid. And I got to sports anchor, which was also, that was my dream from the beginning, being able to do sports. I also got to produce a flashcast. That was where the alpha male days came along with Noah Keeney, Anthony Zacharias, and Michael Neenan, as well as producing my own newscast with my assistant producer, David Williams, who's gone on to produce his own newscast now. Currently, I got to go on and anchor with none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Leonardi, right here next to me. And it's been amazing to see so many of these people grow and become more skilled as this time has gone on. That's probably been the best part of being in TV too. I have a list of people I want to thank, and this goes on forever. But I want to thank the people that helped make this newscast possible. Clara, Melinda, thank you for putting up with me and Anthony's shenanigans before every newscast. Austin and Devin, love you guys. Luke, Joe Ziak, a.k.a. Elmo, I put in there. Ro, yeah. Trinity, Lexi, Jordan, Sophia, Michael Neenan, who I don't know if he's in there. He's probably in there somewhere. Anthony Leonardi, like I said, and our fearless leader, Joe Malbin, who I got to be on a couple flashcasts and newscasts with before, and I was so lucky to be on his show this semester. A couple of mentors that I wanted to shout out. First off, Gretchen and Joanne. You two have been here since the beginning and been amazing people to get advice from and hype me up, really. A couple of producers that I wanted to shout out that I've previously worked under. Hannah Cox, Eli Shingleton, Alex Manthe, Chris Abreu, Kelsey Drennan, Josh Bailey, Nuryed